they're going to be our professors and assign grades. Now, obviously, you can't assign grades on performance before a season starts, but basically assigning grades on how these teams look relative to their goals and plans. Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to start with the Eastern Conference, and we'll start with the Ottawa Senators and assigning grades to them because they have a very busy summer for Pierre Dorion. What'd you give them?
I gave him a B-, and our consensus is a B, because you gave him a B+. I don't like their defense, and we can talk about Jake Sanderson until the end of time. He's a young defenseman. It's going to take time. I remember Morgan Rielly coming into the league. Pooley, Morgan Rielly, great skater, great edge work. It took him time to establish himself. It'll take Jake Sanderson.
They never addressed the top 4 right shot defensemen. They would have had to do that to get a higher grade. So B, I agree with you there. Good, but not that great. All right, Montreal Canadiens. Okay, I think we have C's across the board, right? And not because they're going to be a good team, because they're not. But I think they realize what they're trying to do, try to rebuild slowly. They're interested in a lot of youth, but what they didn't do was shed any contracts up front. And I think that's what Kent Hughes wanted to do. He was not able to do it this summer.
And that's why Darren says he's going to be busy, because he's hopeful that Marty St. Louis can get those players to perform with an expectation that there could be a contract if you're a pending unrestricted free agent, or you go someplace else.
You got to get those guys to play.
You do, but Marty showed that he can do that.
It's only so much to count.
Listen, the whole idea is to be a doomsday year that's competitive.
All right, so the Toronto Maple Leafs, we had a little discrepancy between the two of us there. Unquestionably the best Canadian team in the East right now. So in Toronto, you gave them an A. I gave them B. An A. Why an A?
Because they are such a good team come the regular season. But the regular season doesn't really matter for the Toronto Maple Leafs, does it, Mike? Because come playoff time, it's been an F.
But it's true. But I gave them a B because it's kind of status quo. They didn't do a whole bunch. They swapped out 2 goalies and took a chance on a couple different guys. But I do like the idea. They stayed with the same core, which I do agree with. But they didn't do anything significant, anything seismic just yet. So it's kind of nibbling around the edges. They lost a couple guys. They brought in a couple guys. They're going a little bit younger. But it's kind of the same group coming back. A really good group, but not that much different.
Okay, so let's just give it one thing. They haven't done anything yet. And I think this is where the spotlight ends up, right on Kyle Dubas.
$4 though. Okay. It's not easy to do.
I'm not talking about using the money. I'm talking about making bold moves. I'm talking about making moves to improve your team that'll give you a chance to have success in the playoffs instead of another.
There's only 2 guys you can trade, Kerfoot or Hall,
without
it being a massive deal.
I said you better be bold.
Well,
you want to win, you need to be bold.
A or F?
I think so.
So Professor Button's one of those guys who's nice to the students all year, and then he tells you 100% of it's on the final exam, which is
for the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's exactly that.
It is.
It's exactly that.